In March this year, several thousand people attended a protest in Moscow against new laws that increased government control over the internet.
The government wants us to have a separate North Korean-style internet, where we can't complain or criticize the authorities.
They don't want Russian citizens to see what's going on in the West and how good life is over there.
The censorship starts right here, at the entrance to the demonstration. Men in black hoodies avoiding the camera make sure the protest's organizers check every placard.
The agents are checking that the signs are in line with the law and the stated topic of the demo. At least for now, they've stopped blocking them, though, even ones about Putin.
Very soon, the police come to stop us filming.
Либо пройдите туда на мероприятие, либо выйдите за территорию. Вы мешаете.
Censorship in Russia is discreet, but it's already hit the internet. Cherepovets is a small industrial town 500 kilometers north of Moscow.
Что там последний раз делали? Ноги сегодня, да?
Alexander Soymin is a sports trainer. In late 2015, Secret Service agents paid a visit to his gym. It was less than 2 years after a revolution in Ukraine was roundly condemned by Vladimir Putin, who annexed Crimea shortly afterwards.
Here's one of the photos that landed me a year and a half in a penal colony. It shows a Ukrainian policeman beaten up by revolutionaries. I wrote down with the cops, "Glory to Ukraine." It was showing support for the Ukrainian revolution, showing my followers on social media that what was going on in Ukraine was not what was being shown on Russian TV. Clearly, the secret services saw me as a criminal because I was saying things you're not supposed to say, criticizing Putin for invading Crimea.
Alexander is far from being the only one punished for social media posts in Russia. Grigory Winter, a human rights activist, defended Soymin in court and lost his job as a result.
I used to teach biology in this high school, but I was forced out 2 years ago. After I started defending Alexander Soymin, parents wrote a letter of complaint about me. They said I was a bad person, that I didn't like President Putin, and that I was expressing it freely on social networks. The head teacher summoned me and said that he'd had a call from the FSB, the Secret Services. He said I should not defend extremists, that defending them in the courts was against the interests of the state.
After a veritable avalanche of jail sentences for internet posts, in late 2018 the Russian parliament relaxed the country's laws on extremism. But new laws have come in, carrying explicit punishments for spreading fake news or offending representatives and symbols of the state. The reforms are also designed to enable the Russian internet to function independently of foreign servers. The man behind these laws is a senator, Andrei Klishas. He says they're designed to defend Russia against American cyber attacks.
The United States have the technical capability to cut Russia off from root servers. That would mean the internet would stop working in Russia. And since the US believes anything is permissible when their national interest is at stake, Russia as a sovereign state must equip itself with the technical wherewithal to counter such threats.
But the moves have alarmed NGOs. At this conference, they painted a bleak picture.
Депутаты заняты только тем, что они регулируют интернет. И сейчас действительно лицом, которое привлекается к административной ответственности, к уголовной, может быть абсолютно любой человек в России.
As always in Russia, we hope for the best, but we prepare for the worst. Any model, including the North Korean model, could now be implemented in Russia perfectly legally. We currently have more than 6,000 operators involved in internet routing. The government could destroy them all, leaving only Rostelecom, the state operator. In the name of this law and of the defense against threats, it could also leave only a small number of operators the right to interact with foreign internet, as in China.
Last year, the Russian authorities failed to close down the crypted messaging service Telegram, but managed to block some 650,000 other pages. The Russian state denies wanting to control the internet, but it has given itself the tools to do exactly that.